Hey there, kiddos, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Uncle Frank, hoping that you are having a great day. And in today's video, I'm going to be sitting back in my very squeaky chair, relaxing and having a little conversation with all of you guys about retro video games and retro video game recommendations. You see, in today's video, I am making a video that I wanted to make quite a while ago. This came up in discussion on Discord a few months back. I wrote up a list, and then I completely forgot about it until just earlier today, actually, when I found the list while going through computer files. Neat stuff. So, let's say that you're someone who's finally picked up that old fossil of a console known as the Nintendo DS, which released way back in the Hyperborean age of 2006, I think. That was a lifetime ago. I'm old. Anyway, if you're new to retro video games and you've just picked up a DS, you might be interested in some video games to check out. And so I have written up a quick list of a bunch of games that I think are more standout-ish on the console. And this is in no particular order. This is not worst to best to check out. This is just a bunch of games that I thought were noteworthy and that I think you should consider trying out. So if you are someone who just picked up a DS, and if you are looking for game recommendations, this is the Uncle Frank version of that video. So, without further ado, let's dive right on in with The World Ends With You. And yes, that is indeed the title of the game. I'm not joking. It's just called The World Ends With You. This was a pretty experimental RPG. Or can it even be called an RPG? I guess so. In my experience, when you play The World Ends With You, the reason I want to get this one out of the way first is because this is a game that you either love or you'll hate it. I really don't want to spoil too much about it. The game's plot has a lot going on, but it was a very noteworthy game. It did get a lot of praise back in the day after it released. It does have, to my knowledge, a pretty strong fan base. Square Enix would show it some love by including it in Kingdom Hearts 3DS, Dream Drop Distance. But besides that, I don't think it has a sequel. I think it's got a re-release in recent years, so you can play it on something that's not the DS if that's your cup of tea. But yeah, this is one of the weirder, I think it's an RPG, really. It's got RPG elements, so I'm going to call it an RPG. It's one of the weirder games I've tried, and I didn't end up liking it myself. I think it's kind of jank, but I know that it does have its diehard fans, and I can understand why people would like it. So, there's that. The Phoenix Wright games for the DS. Trials and Tribulations, I believe, is the best of the classic Phoenix Wright trilogy. Now, just so we're clear, the Phoenix Wright games are not super involved games. They're all very long, basically visual novel puzzle games. And the puzzles themselves are not very difficult. I'm going to be very honest. This is not a hard game by any means, but it is a very enjoyable game. I like the story for Trials and Tribulations. I like the characters in it. It's got nice, like I said, it's got nice story beats. It's got great music. And I think it's got some of the more memorable characters of the classic Phoenix Wright lineup and some of the more unique trials with some fun animations strewn about. So if you're looking for puzzle games that happen to have a decent story, Phoenix Wright Trials and Tribulations is the game for you. Next up, we have Resident Evil Deadly Silence. And this one's great. Or at least, in my opinion, this one's great. There have been several ports, versions, and even remakes of the original Resident Evil one, but in my opinion, Deadly Silence, the DS port, is the best port. It's the perfect port, in fact, of the original Resident Evil. It's got a bunch of quality of life improvements, touchscreen integration. I think it's got a dedicated knife button. There's a new mode that changes up the puzzles. And in my opinion, Deadly Silence is the perfect hopping on point for the Resident Evil franchise if you've never played the original game. And when I say original game, I mean the original and the GameCube version, the remaster, remake, whatever. Deadly Silence is just a great game overall. It's probably like the perfect version of Resident Evil, and I highly recommend it. But enough gushing over that game. Let's move on to Mario and Luigi, Bowser's Inside Story. And in my opinion, this is easily the best of the Mario and Luigi games. Perhaps the third best overall of the Mario RPG titles, honestly. It's definitely the best Mario and Luigi game, but there's also Super Mario RPG and Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door to think about. But it's a good game. It's solid, fun. I like a lot of the I like the story a lot, if I'm being honest. Going inside of Bowser and doing a bunch of crazy kooky stuff in there. The battle system's really nice. A lot of the enemies you fight are pretty memorable for a game for Mario. It's really good fun. If you've never played a Mario RPG game, this is the one that I highly recommend. Then there's Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon, which is the DS remake / port of the original first Fire Emblem game. And this one's memorable because for a lot of Western fans, it was kind of the first way a lot of them even got to try the series outside of like Smash Brothers, because Smash Brothers, I think, introduced Fire Emblem to a lot of Western fans. It's a Fire Emblem game, just so we're clear. It is a Fire Emblem game, which means it is hard as fuck in some places. It's an early Fire Emblem game, and those are brutal. If you've never played a Fire Emblem game, I actually wouldn't recommend this as your first Fire Emblem game. But if you are looking for a difficult game on the DS and an introduction to this series as a whole, it's not a bad place to start, and I do highly recommend it in general. It's just that I do think that there are other more refined Fire Emblem games that would make for a solid jumping on point. And next up we have controversial picks, but 2 in 1. We've got The Legend of Zelda Phantom Hourglass and The Legend of Zelda Spirit Tracks. I'm counting them as kind of one thing because you could try either or and just kind of dictate which one you like more based on, well, the side characters, the puzzles, the dungeons, etc. I'm kind of torn personally on which one I like more, if I'm gotta be honest. I don't like either of them too much as a big Zelda fan. I barely ever touched them after beating them the first time, just so we're clear. They both have things that I don't like, and I don't want this to turn into a hating on them video, because I do think that you should try them out, especially if you're a Zelda fan, especially if you're a Zelda fan who hasn't tried them before. But Spirit Tracks, its big problem as it's on rails. There's very little genuine exploration in the game. The game kind of dictates when you get to discover new stuff. And Phantom Hourglass has a dungeon that you have to constantly go through and beat over and over again. And that gets tedious, especially if you're not a super big fan of the game itself. But being fair, they also all have things I like. The overworld design for Phantom Hourglass is nice. It's got Limebeck as a companion, and he's fucking great. Spirit Tracks has Zelda as an actual companion. She can help you out as a big, scary suit of armor. That's pretty fun. The final boss for Phantom Hourglass is pretty great, too. The final boss for Spirit Tracks is kind of forgettable. Memorable, because it's a train. Spoiler alert, you fight a fucking train. But yeah. Give those a try if you've never tried a Zelda game. They are interesting. Those are another pair of games that you'll either love or hate. Pokemon Conquest is next. And yeah, this is a weird Pokemon game, to be honest. It's the strangest Pokemon side game ever. It's got Oda Nobunaga in it, using Pokemon for his fucking conquest of Japan. Yes, seriously. That's all I'm going to say on it. It's a weird game. It's definitely a memorable game, and I wonder where they came up with the concept of it. That had to have been like a discussion they were having at Pokemon HQ one day. Like, what if Oda Nobunaga had a Rayquaza? And some other executive was like, ship it. Kirby Squeak Squad. Kirby Squeak Squad is my personal favorite Kirby game. It's not the best Kirby game, I'm being honest, but it's my personal favorite. It's the most comfortable to play through. It's got a fun gimmick. The Squeak Squad, the mouse enemies, they chase you through through certain levels if you acquire treasure, which is the whole focus of the game. It's got this nice little bubble system submenu for the touch screen. It's got a bunch of fun bosses, including a really fun final boss. A lot going on here. I like the music, and it's got loads of unlockables and secrets and extra content, so there's a lot to do in this game, and if you are a fan of a nice, comfy adventure, if you're a fan of an easy enough game, if you're a fan of Kirby, and if you're a fan of just scouring a fucking game to get all the content, Squeak Squad's got it. Now, next up, we've got Mega Man The Zero Collection, which is not the only Mega Man game for the DS, if we're being honest. There is the Star Force line, which does exist, and I do like those quite a lot, being honest. But I like the Mega Man Zero Collection way more, because it's all 4 Zero games on one cart. And these are, in my opinion, the Mega Man Zero games are the best of the classic style Mega Man games. Mega Man, the original series, Mega Man X, Mega Man Zero's got the best. I believe 4 is the best of the best, but they're all pretty great in my opinion. They have some iconic bosses, some really cool combat options, really cool items you can use. The Cyber Elf system that you can use in them. It's a lot of fun. It's a really good, like, perfected version of the Mega Man formula, in my opinion. And I don't think the Mega Man Zero series gets enough love, if I'm being honest, which is a shame because I do like it quite a lot as a game series. And I genuinely think that if you try it out yourself, you'll find, A, it's got 4 games for the price of 1, which is always dope, and these 4 games are some of the best of the Mega Man games ever made. And I don't know why Capcom just doesn't want to show this series any more love. Just a shame, in my opinion. But moving on, finally, we have the final game I think you should try out, and this one is Kingdom Hearts 358 over 2 days, and yes, that is how the title is apparently said. Apparently. Not 358 divided by 2, 358 over 2. This is a very... You had to have been there for how crazy kooky this game was, but when this game released for the DS, it was a huge deal for a bit. It was a very strange midquel for the Kingdom Hearts series. It took place between Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts 2, sort of more, and it kind of crossed over sort of with the events of Chain of Memories. This game covers Roxas's time in Organization 13, leading up to the events of Kingdom Hearts 2's prologue. It's got some kooky controls, but a lot of the Kingdom Hearts side games have kooky controls. You know, Chain of Memories uses cards. Birth by Sleep uses that weird system for its menus. And 358 over 2 days uses this weird block thing. You can customize your entire moveset, your items, etc. It takes some time to get used to. And I do genuinely believe that the DS was not the best choice for this game. I think it would have been fine on console. I think it would have sold gangbusters on console. But if you get used to the controls, it is a lot of fun. It's got this really cool mission-based progression system for the story. So you go day by day, going through missions, etc., slowly unlocking more and more of the plot as you go. And it's also got this really cool final boss that's one of the more memorable final bosses in the series, who's got several phases. It's a really sad story. Cool stuff to it all around. And finally, it's got the thing that a lot of people were freaking out about at the time, which was a side mode that lets you play as all of the members of Organization 13. Which, not only do they all have slightly different, like, combat styles and obviously different weapons, but you gotta understand, Organization 13, at the time this game released, they were super popular. People loved them. You know, every Kingdom Hearts fan had at least a favorite of that organization. So a game where you could play as all of them really stood out, really made people want this game. And I think that alone makes it pretty interesting, a nice little relic of Kingdom Hearts history, where once upon a time people were frothing at the mouth over a game that let you play as the bad guys. Fun stuff. So that's it for now. That is my list of recommendations. There are other DS games that I do think are genuinely worth checking out, just so we're clear. But if you're just getting into the DS and you're just looking for a small list of games to try out, these are the ones that I genuinely recommend you try first. So that's all I've got for you kiddos today. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, all that jazz. Check out the Discord, the Patreon, the TCG player link all below. That's all I got for you kiddos. Thanks again. See you next time. Ciao.